let me just bring in the possibility here. It might not actually feel safe to your body to relax.
Yeah. Are you a psychic also?
I know. Boy, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Never relaxes.
I never relax.
Because
a body in motion stays in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
If it were safe to relax, your body would relax. So the problem isn't that you can't relax. The problem is we don't feel safe to allow ourselves to relax.
Yeah.
So then that's where we get to work.
Hey, everybody, I'm Lori Schulweiss.
And I'm Jen Giamo.
And welcome to another episode of Everybody Talks, the podcast where we explore the wide world of wellness. Sometimes we talk to experts, sometimes we just talk to each other, but we're always talking to you. If you want to watch this episode, go to our YouTube channel at EBT Podcast.
Every week, we discuss topics from nutrition and exercise to mindfulness and self-care. And today, we are talking about trauma. We're talking to a physician, speaker, pioneering voice in this emerging field of trauma biology. She was originally trained in medicine and public health. She later pursued certifications in functional medicine, addiction medicine, and trauma therapies for a truly integrative perspective. Her innovative programs combine somatic experiencing, attachment science, and biology-based interventions to help people move beyond survival mode, restore their health, and reconnect with their authentic selves.
She's the author of The Biology of Trauma, a step-by-step guide to healing from trauma and returning to your authentic self, where she outlines how unresolved trauma patterns shape the nervous system, immune system, and even long-term health outcomes. Her work empowers individuals to not only understand trauma differently, but to experience real transformation. You're about to see that right now, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Please welcome today our guest, Dr. Aimie Apigian. Aimie, welcome to Everybody Talks. We're so happy to have you today.
Well, I'm happy to sit here and talk trauma with you both.
We're excited to dig
As we
into
said
this
right
topic.
before, everyone's been traumatized in some way. But why don't you begin with how you define the word trauma? A little bit about yourself, I think, of course, and your own kind of journey, but also how you define trauma and why you think it is central to someone's biology as well as something emotionally that you go through.
Yeah, I'm here because I did not actually understand trauma, because I was going by the definition that I had been taught, which is a big bad thing that's happened to you.
Yeah.
So
Catastrophic event.
Because that was my definition before, and I realized that was not adequately covering somehow these experiences from my past that my body was holding on to. They weren't these big bad events. I was looking back at my life and being like, I haven't had trauma. So then why do I have a trauma body?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I started
You're going to tell us what that
means. I was going to say, and you'll define that in a minute, I'm sure.
So how do we define trauma? So even for both of you, looking back at your life experiences, when was the very first time, so give me an age, in which you remember feeling alone? Not that you were alone, you felt alone, confused. I don't know what to do here. I don't think I can do anything here. And that feeling of being overwhelmed and alone. What age?
I mean, two things come to my mind almost immediately. One was when I was 5 and I was in kindergarten, and I remember I was part of a 3-friend triangle. And I remember I always felt like the odd man out. And I remember that very because I transferred in as a kindergartner into the school. We had lived in Queens and we moved up to Westchester. And so I came in the middle of the year. And so I won't call them out, Carly and Joy, but
if you're listening,
but I remember that feeling of being like the odd man out, which stays with me. I know that stays with me even now. I mean, and the other trauma I've had is much more obvious. I was 16 and my mother passed away. So that was a much more jarring event in my life. But I don't remember anything I have a bad memory to begin with right now, but I don't remember my life before she died very well. I remember things
Mm.
afterwards, but a lot of my life with my mom is totally blocked out. So
That's
there you go. Those are
how,
my two things.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. And just that, like looking at, again, like I go into such a place of compassion for your younger self who
Mhm.
was going through that, that it was so overwhelming that it didn't even integrate the memories in the
Mhm.
right way. It was just all too much. And I'm assuming that that's what it felt like at that time. It's just, this is all
Definitely.
too much
Definitely.
for me.
Definitely. Definitely.
Mhm. And I'm curious that as a 5-year-old,
Mhm.
that you already had that experience of feeling like, I don't belong.
Mm.
I feel like a misfit. I feel like I'm on the outside.
Yeah.
And who did you have in your life at that time that you could talk to about all of that stuff?
I mean, I'm thinking that I didn't talk to anyone about it because I
And
know
that was the trauma,
myself. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
was the trauma.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually the transferring of schools. It wasn't this
No.
friendship triangle that can always be dangerous. It was the fact that you were alone
Hmm.
in this experience. You
Right.
didn't have anybody who was in it with you.
Right.
That's what the trauma was.
Wow.
And that's why so many people look back on their life and they're like, I don't see anything big and bad. And that's why I don't ask about anything big and bad anymore. I ask about, tell me a time that you felt this
Mm.
way. And then let's look at who did you have in your corner at that time? And
Right.
so many other people are saying, you're right. I didn't have anybody who I felt
Right.
like understood what was really going on, understood my experience of it, understood how hard this was for me, and was in it with me. Was in it with me. I
Yeah.
felt so
Wow.
alone in it.
Wow.
I like how you flipped this, Aimie. Now you're
I know you're
interviewing us.
interviewing us. I was just thinking that exact same thing. I was like, I don't know. You go.
Wow. Oh, me? Well, I was 5 years old also. It was kindergarten. I think I recently told you this story. I don't know that this qualifies though, because I guess I felt
Okay, so
alone.
can we just stop right there?
Yeah.
Qualifies.
She is interviewing us,
I
Jen.
know. Okay, I'll tell you what it is.
Now,
And
isn't that interesting? How
yeah,
so
Yeah.
many of us, especially women, I'm going to say,
Yeah.
feel like who am I? Who am I to use the word trauma? Who am I? Who am I? Like it has to be a certain level of badness in order for it to qualify. Do
yeah,
I
Yeah.
qualify? Do I belong to this club? And once
Yeah.
again, we're back in that feeling alone.
Wow.
right.
Feeling alone.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's true.
All right.
All
I
right,
didn't
what
mean to
was?
interrupt you.
No, that's
okay. Go.
No, I was getting on the bus. I was 5 years old, kindergarten,
I know the
also
story,
going to
yeah.
kindergarten, getting on the bus, and it was the fall, September, and I stepped on a berry, and it
Mm.
made a fart sound, and everyone on the bus laughed at me and I got made fun of. This was literally like the first day of school, kindergarten, and I think that it actually got even worse because I went home and told my mom, and she decided it would be a good idea to have the principal ride the bus with me so kids wouldn't make fun of me.
Wasn't that nice of her?
Great intentions, right? A lot of people are hurtful with good intentions.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So that was mine.
Yeah.
The earliest that I can remember.
Yeah.
This happens so often where we end up feeling more alone in the experience because people with good intentions come. And even as we're adults, right? Like we're going through something and someone can come over and be like, well, look on the bright side. Well, you'll be glad that you went through this someday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not actually being in the pain with us. They're trying to make the pain go away, probably to make themselves feel better and to not poke at their own inner pain that they have not resolved. And so this is how we can have friends, we can have family members who they have such good intentions and they end up making things worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, tell us what you mean about, you mentioned, the trauma body. Tell us what you mean by that. What does that feel like? I guess I should say feel.
All right. So now that we've established that it really is feeling all alone in something that we feel is horrifying and terrifying.
Okay.
All alone in something that is terrifying. Our body adapts to that. And there are actual physiological changes that happen down to the cellular level, down to our system level. So our cardiovascular system, you can look at what our heart does differently. You can look at what your lungs, how they breathe differently. So these experiences of alone and terrified are inner physiological changes. And what happens is that when we don't get that full reset to safety, then our body stays stuck in its response to feeling alone and terrified. And it does everything to try to keep protecting us from feeling that, because it hasn't registered that the danger is over. And so if the danger isn't actually over, it might happen again, and it might happen tomorrow, and it might happen right now. And so I always need to stay guarded and bracing and hypervigilant and watching. And oh my goodness, now we're in this constant state that becomes our biology.
Yeah.
Over the years, that becomes only a more progressive biology of trauma that will present with physical health issues, conditions, for some people, actual diagnoses. And so that's what a trauma body is. It's a body that has years, sometimes decades, of accumulated experiences that create a survival danger response. And it's been playing that out underneath the surface, and it finally manifests in health conditions.
Yeah, it just made me think of another trauma that I had, Lori too. We were both divorced,
Right.
and my divorce to me, like just as you're explaining the body and the feelings, and it's like after that happened, I've ever since then, I should say, because to this day, I feel like my body never bounced back from it. Like my body is still experiencing like my stomach is always bothering me. My heart, I have panic attacks, my heart races, all those things. And it's like this, I guess, like you said, like these years and years of, but it's not that it's still happening, but it's in my mind, it's happening.
Yeah.
Right. So my body doesn't know the difference whether.
Well, I'm gonna suggest maybe something different, because I think that your mind does know that it's over. It's your body that hasn't caught up with the information.
Wow.
So what do I do?
Right? What do we do? Oh my goodness, what do I do? Because what we've been taught is, well, then just change your mindset, right? Like this is a willpower thing.
Right.
This is a decision that you just haven't made yet to move on.
Right.
Could not be farther from the truth. No, your mind has the information. You can see, no, I'm no longer going through that. I am safe, but somehow your body hasn't caught up with that information. Mind can be very different, have a different story than our body. And that is why I wrote my book, because everyone walks around thinking that it's just something that they need to change in their mind, that their mind needs reprogramming. No, your mind has the programming. It's your body that needs the reprogramming. So I'm going to invite you to right now grab something, anything that you have nearby that's a pillow, a blanket, a purse, a bag, a notebook. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is.
I'm going to grab a pillow.
Grab
have a pillow.
something.
We both
And I'm
have
just-
pillows here. Now
I'm
I've
going
just
to
shrunk.
show you what to do. So grab the pillow.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this weighted neck scarf just because it's what I have here. It doesn't matter what you use. And I want you to put it over your belly. Don't ask me why. I'm not into answering questions right now, even though I know that you invited me on so that you could ask me questions.
But apparently we've invited you on to ask us questions.
Apparently. And to do a little trauma work.
And
right
do
here
a little
together.
trauma work. I love this.
That's really that's the gist of our podcast, is how can we help ourselves to the people that we invite on. That's the underlying,
Well, stop talking
that's the
about it. Let's just do
undercurrents.
Right?
Let's
We
just
don't,
do
go,
it.
we don't go to the doctor anymore. We
No,
just
we just
invite
have people on
on.
the podcast. Go on.
Well, that's
right.
a great way too, right? Like we don't want to go to the doctor. We want to just invite the doctors to our podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So you've got something over your belly. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I just noticed myself taking a really deep breath that it just came to me. I didn't force it to happen. It just happened as I have this, whatever I have over my belly. Now, the very first phase of healing trauma is to learn how to shift our nervous system state. It's not to do the reprogramming. It's not to do the analysis. It's not to go into that story. It's actually to learn to be in the present moment. And our body carries pain, which is why we don't like to be in our body in the present moment. Why would I want to feel that? So we learn to create a sense of safety or just safe enough for us to actually land in the present moment and be in our body. And that is shifting our nervous system state. So what I'm going to ask you to do is whatever you have over your belly, move it a little bit to the right side and hold it there. And, we're working really with the vagus nerve because the vagus nerve is what connects our mind to our gut. And so as these things are shifting in our gut with having something over our belly, we just need to give it a few seconds for the message to travel back up our vagus nerve. So is this position over the right side better or not than where you had it before?
Not.
No. Okay. So let's move it now over to the left side. And I'm intentionally wanting to experiment here. I don't want to just do one thing and say, all right, stomach, well, there's your support, like it or leave it. I'm actually wanting to establish a relationship with my body. I know that sounds so foreign to most people, but we want to actually establish a relationship where I'm doing something and then I'm asking, how can I make this better for you? How can I make this better for you? Not for me, for you. I'm here to support you. So over on the left side, does that feel better or not from where you had it at the beginning?
A little better, but not really. Feels best
Yeah,
to
it
me in the
doesn't matter.
middle.
Like there is
Yeah.
no right
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if it does, then you leave it there. If it doesn't, then I want you to move it back to where it has felt the best. Oh, and see, I move it back to the center and I get my
Yeah.
deep breath again. So
Yeah.
Me
that's for
too.
me,
That's
the message
yeah.
from my
center.
body
Yeah.
of this
Definitely.
is the spot that I like. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So now let's move it down. So I have mine above the belly button. I'm going to move mine below the belly button. And I can tell immediately this is not better for me.
Yeah.
So again, we have to figure it out though. So now let's move it just over our belly button a little bit. Well, that's better than where it just was, but I think it can still be better for me. This is for me, right? So you each do your body. So I'm going to move it back up to where I had it, which is upper belly, like just kind of underneath the ribs. And now we're going to experiment the pressure. Does it like light pressure? Does it really like you hugging it in? Again, I don't like to use that word right. What's the pressure that feels the most helpful to your belly right now? Oh, and there's another deep breath for me. What are we noticing in terms of pressure? Light, medium,
I think light for me.
light for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Light to medium. Like I want it to feel like secure, like it's not going to fall off of
Ooh,
me.
I like that word secure.
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay.
Wow. So tell me what it feels like right now to feel secure. How do you know that that's what you're feeling?
Um, I don't. It just feels good. It
Yeah.
feels like
Where does it feel good?
I feel relaxed. Like I feel like
Yes. Where does it feel relaxed? I'll give
in,
you some options.
okay.
Chest,
Hmm.
shoulders, belly, feet. Where does it feel relaxed?
I would say belly.
Belly. Mine
Yeah.
too. I feel like my abdominal wall has just kind of softened.
Yeah, me too.
And it's almost like, oh, thank you for protecting me so that I don't have to protect us right now.
Mm-hmm.
It allows my belly muscles to just take a break. And they
Yes.
seem that they're tired. So they like the break. And with that, then I've been getting the deeper breaths because as my abdominal wall muscles relax, my diaphragm can move more freely. And did you know that your diaphragm is what gives your heart a hug with every breath? So the deeper breaths that we take, it actually gives our heart more of a hug and more of that sense of, I'm here with you and I'm holding you up. That's what holds our heart up.
Literally,
Our
yeah.
heart is held up by our diaphragm. And when we experience a grief, a shock, our diaphragm gets stunned and it stops moving, which makes our heart feel like it's sinking in our chest. Have you ever felt that?
Yes.
That's from the diaphragm not moving.
Yeah,
So
wow.
this is how we literally come in and we provide the support to our body in the present moment so that it can be in that place of, I'm not alone. Yes, this is hard. Yes, this is awful, but I'm not alone. I'm here with myself. I've got this. So, one last thought then on like, what else are you noticing now with just covering your belly? What would be another word to describe your inner emotional state?
Calm.
Yeah. I
Calm.
agree with
Isn't
that.
that
Calm.
wonderful?
Yeah.
I call this calm alive.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm not calm and passed out or
Right.
numb.
Right.
I'm
Right.
calm and yet very present,
Present.
Mm.
connected.
That's how it feels. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Congratulations. You've
That
done a
feels
little bit
good.
of trauma healing.
It feels really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Walk around.
So
turning
whenever
your
I
toes.
notice myself kind of in those thoughts of like, oh, the story of the past, right?
Yeah.
And I can feel all of those body sensations. And you had mentioned your gut just kind of twists just with thinking about the divorce. That's why I went here. I'm like, oh, gut twisting. I've got an exercise.
Right. Yeah, that
Wow.
really is helpful.
Wow.
That is really helpful.
And what I find helpful about it is it gets me out of the story of the past.
Mm.
It gets me
Yeah.
back in the present moment.
Sure.
And that's where the healing happens. Healing happens in the present moment, not in the past. We can't change the past. But that's where most people go. Most people
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
into the stories of the past to try to heal the past. And no, healing happens in the present.
Right.
Wow.
And this is how we get present.
Yeah. How would you do something like that? I mean, is this a technique that you have to do when you're sort of sitting down, you're in a quiet space, or can you do this like in your everyday life?
Yeah, once I discovered this for myself, I was like, why haven't I been doing this forever? And where else can I do this? So I started bringing in things that I could just have over my belly while I was working. And then I brought it in so I have it in my car while I'm driving. And now it's
Wow.
just what I always do, right? Like I'm always looking at how can I support my body? How can I support my body for it to feel protected so it doesn't have to protect itself? How can I come in and provide support for my body so that it can support me and we can do hard things together because my body feels like we're in this together.
Wow.
And I'm not recreating those experiences of feeling all alone because I'm waiting for someone else to come and save me.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm the person that I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I can come in and I can be in this with my body.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's such an interesting experience. Just
Yes.
doing that is so
Yes.
simple, but
I know.
it really
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that because I do feel like I'm a very anxious person just by nature and or epigenetics or whatever you want to call it, but I'm anxious.
Or
Well, we're
trauma.
gonna get to that. Yeah.
But right. And I always tend to like hold it in my stomach. So having something in
Yeah.
front of my stomach to let it just go and like let it out, it's like
works for you.
yeah, like it feels
Yeah.
like I'm wearing like a comfy pair of sweatpants.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can even see the change on
Wow.
your facial
On
expression.
my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really wow.
Wow.
So speaking of that,
Yeah.
having this anxiety and epigenetics playing a role in our, trauma getting passed down through generations. Does your work, I mean, how would this work, or how does your work address like inherited trauma? I can't speak today.
That's okay.
Inherited trauma biology.
Yeah, you're experiencing safety right now, and it's just such a new experience for you that you're
can't
explaining
speak. I
yourself.
You
at a
can't
loss of
speak.
words.
You're like
I'm
calm.
like way too
You're
relaxed.
Way
I'm
too
way
relaxed.
too relaxed. I'm not on. I need a little bit of my edge back so I can interview you.
Yeah.
So this is what we then do, right? Like we actually
Yeah.
shift our own state all the time without realizing that that's what we're doing when we reach for a cup of coffee, when we reach for the bag of M&Ms, when we reach for the movies and we binge watch on Netflix. Like we're actually doing each of those things to manage our inner nervous system state. We just actually haven't had words to say that that's what we're doing. But now
Wow.
you know. And so
Yeah.
now you will feel like, okay, I'm a little too relaxed. I need a little bit of my edge back. And so what do I need to do in order to shift my state to have a little bit of that anxiety because it gives me my edge? Yeah. Isn't this interesting?
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Wow.
Oh my God. How do you differentiate them between like trauma that can be healed through like a self-led practice like this versus trauma that like you need to talk to a professional about? Like I mean, when I say professional, I mean,
Like a
a
therapist.
therapist.
Right. What a great question. And so many people have asked me this question. So this is what I lay out in section 3 of my book.
Okay.
Because we need to have a roadmap. We need to know, like, is this the time for me to go do this kind of therapy? And is it the right kind for this kind of therapy? Or am I supposed to be doing something on my own? What am I supposed to be doing on my own? Like, it's been confusing. And that's why we've gotten stuck.
Yeah.
And so to be able to give people a roadmap and say, these are the phases of the healing journey. This is what you need to start with first. So what people need to start with first is to be able to learn how to create their sense of safety in the present moment right now. Oh, but Dr. Aimie, don't I need to go process my childhood? Not now. Right? So we think of processing our stories of our past like jumping into a pool, right? We're deep in the emotions. We're deep into the stories. We don't even know what all is there because we've packed it so well.
Yeah.
Do you want to jump into the pool after you've learned how to swim or before you've learned how to swim?
Yeah.
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 You don't want to jump in before you've even learned how to swim. You need to learn how to be able to keep your head above water.
Right.
So that's what we need to do then first is we need to learn these skills to be able to keep our head above water. And then it's safe to go into the deeper waters. But when we go into the deeper waters without these skills first, we get overwhelmed. We get drowned. I don't know about you, but I've gotten drowned by my own emotions in the past.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And so that's why I tell people, please do not start with that. Don't start with the processing. Don't start with the analyzing. Get out of the story, in fact. Get completely out of the story. It's not helpful right now. It's only helpful when you can go into those stories and be able to resolve them.
Right.
Otherwise, if you go into those stories, you're just reliving them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So these skills of then, just like what we did right now, right?
Yeah,
I want someone to know how to do this for themselves before I'm going to take them into a story of the past where they're going to be flooded with emotions and I'm going to need them to know I need stomach support right now. Let's pause this story. I need to grab my pillow and put it over my belly because I'm losing my sense of safety and I need to keep myself within my sense of safety while I work on a story. So that is why it does matter what you start with. It does matter what you do. And a person needs to have these skills for themselves. They can't expect a therapist to have these skills for them. It doesn't replace them knowing how to swim. Your instructor can know how to swim, but that doesn't count for you knowing how to swim.
Yeah.
You've got to know how to swim through your own emotions to keep your head above water.
I love that way of framing it because I always think about it the complete opposite of that. Like, let me get rid of all this clutter in my mind and then I can relax. And then I can but now that you've relaxed me to this state that I'm in, I'm like, I'm trying to get myself I think I have to sit on the pillow again because
I know.
I feel like I'm floating away.
My question is, how do you prevent future trauma, from piling on. It's like some things you can't help, that we experience things every day that, like, for lack of a better word, traumatize us, like either big emotional things or just little things.
Yeah.
And so how do you prevent those from piling on to the stuff you're already carrying?
Right. Now, I believe that, Jen, you're a little sick today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bummer that you're exposing Lori. Yeah. Bummer that we're exposed to trauma in
Yeah.
life.
Right.
Yeah. Fair.
We can't stop the exposure.
Right.
So, what Lori's job is to have her immune system built up
Right.
Mm-hmm.
so that even when she is exposed to your germs right now, Jen,
Yeah.
she's not going to get sick. It's not
Yeah.
going to overwhelm her immune system that it's going to take her down.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with our nervous system. We're going to get exposed. We are exposed. You just turn on the news, you turn on social media.
Yeah.
You are you're seeing things that no one should have to see time and time again that are traumatizing. And why are they traumatizing? Because we're seeing a really bad thing happen and there's nothing we can do to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Yeah.
makes it traumatizing for us. It's called
Yeah.
vicarious trauma. So we are exposed. We are going to experience loss. People die, pets die. We can't stop that from happening. And so we are going to get exposed. But where the resilience comes in is, what have we done ahead of time to build our capacity for hard things
Yeah.
so that we're going into that resilience and we're not in the middle of it and being like, oh, shoot, what can I do right now? It's kind of too late right now.
So then
Right?
would
Like,
you
Lori,
say,
what you've done for your immune system is
Yeah.
what you've got. There's nothing
This
you
is
can
it.
do
I
right
can't.
now.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
Except,
being
excuse me,
exposed.
I need to take some vitamin C.
Exactly.
um,
So it's more about our state going into something than what that something is.
but so then what if you're like me, for instance, again,
Asking for a
personal,
friend.
not just women.
Yeah.
No, but what
Yeah.
if you're someone who, like, you've always been piled on and piled on. You have never had these skills to regulate or to get yourself ready for the next thing that comes. So all of these traumas have been piled on, and your body, like I mentioned before, that's kind of how I feel right now today. It's like that my body is breaking down. It is just it just can't take any more, and
Yeah.
it's like this overwhelming. So yes, that felt really good what I just did. And I got a good deep breath right there. But is that going to, if I do that practice enough, is that going to undo some of this other residual stuff that's stuck there?
Yeah. So
Gunk.
I talk about neuroception in my book. Chapter 3 is where I really go into this equation for what makes us cross the line from stress into a trauma response. And you've actually perfectly described it. It's a combination of two things. One is too much, too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Too much, too fast. It's just all too much. But there's this other reason as well, and it's too little for too long. And so I'm hearing some of that in kind of what you're saying, Jen, where it's just been too long.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Too little for too long? Like you
Yeah, what
haven't
does that
kind of
mean?
yeah.
What level of support do you feel like you have in your life right now? Is it too little of the support that you feel that you need?
Mm.
And it's just been too long.
Right.
Where you felt unsupported, or you
Felt
yeah.
unsupported.
Yeah.
Right.
What about going back to childhood? How much
Yeah.
love and acceptance did you get? How much time did you get with your parent actually fully present with you? Not rushing around, not busy, not, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
the time, the attention. Was it
Yeah.
too little for just too long? So we
I
look
don't know.
at all of
I'm
these
like,
things that then this is what brings us to our breaking point.
Yeah.
yeah.
By the time we're adults, it's usually a combination of both. Too much too fast and too little for too long.
Right.
And so when we notice ourselves at that breaking point, well, then the best thing to do is just surrender to it and let our body have a timeout
Hmm. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
give it the pause that it needs. It needs time. It needs time to process everything that's happened. We often don't give ourselves that time. And that's why we got here, it's because we haven't given ourselves time, just
Yeah.
time to
Right.
think, time to be, time to breathe, time to process.
Hmm.
And then we look at, well, we still have this too little for too long.
Yeah.
And when my body is going to come out of this shutdown that it feels like it wants to go into, it's still going to come back into the same scenario of, but nothing's changed, which
Hmm.
makes
Yeah.
us go right back in. So that's why I talk about in chapter 8 this body trauma loop that
Uh-huh.
we get into, where our body is always either in stress mode or in overwhelm mode. Stress, overwhelm.
Hmm.
And it never is in this calm, alive
Yeah.
Hmm.
state that you've been able to experience for a little bit just now. And that's
Yeah.
where the healing happens. That's where the processing happens. That's where the rest and recovery happens. And so if we have too little of calm and alive in our life and it's just been too long, our body will break down and it will say, sorry, I need that. It's not a request. I need that. And you've been pushing me, my body, just for too long. So then we look at, okay, well, then how can I change that? Like, what kind of support can I give my body so that it's getting what it needs and we're getting out of the too little of something for just too long? Can I be giving my own body time? Do I
Hmm.
have myself on my own calendar?
Hmm. Yeah.
And not the self-care that I'm talking about, not the going off to the spa or the
Right.
bath. I'm talking about what you just did. These kinds of this kind of time with your body. What do you need? What's bothering you right now? I'm feeling it in my gut. Okay, well,
Hmm.
let me give you some support over your gut. Or maybe you feel that ache in your heart rather than just brush it off and try to stay busy so you don't have to feel it. What if we could take the time to actually feel it
Yeah.
and be with it? Like put ourselves on our own calendar.
Yeah.
I need to be with my heart, even though that sounds silly, that sounds ridiculous. That's the truth. My
Hmm.
heart hurts. It needs time.
Yeah.
So then that's what we are able to do while we're going through something that allows us to stay with that hard thing and follow it through rather than needing to kind of push the escape button and say, this is too much for me. I'm going to go seek relief in that tub of ice cream and that pan of brownies and the binge
Right.
watching of movies.
Yeah. And I really like what you said, like the calm and alive and calm and present, because a lot of times when I feel like this, it's like, I just want to go to sleep. I just want to sleep. And then I'll
That's your freeze
sleep.
response.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I will,
that's your freeze response.
I mean, my
Yeah.
body is obviously able to sleep. So I must be at a point where it's exhausted
You're
itself
exhausted.
enough
Yes.
that I can,
I'm thinking that this is different than just exhaustion. In those moments that you're recognizing you want to sleep, that is
hmm.
your body saying, sleep is my escape.
Hmm.
Huh.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Because
not
when I,
just from being
So
tired.
is the
I'm sure you are
yeah,
response
tired.
yeah,
then?
yeah. Well, it's hard to judge today, but today's not a good day. But when I kind of get what you're saying. Because when I do wake up from, I mean, I rarely take a nap, but if I feel like I just can't do it anymore,
Right.
I'll close my eyes and I wake up and it's so much worse when I wake up. Then
Exactly.
it's like, oh, all
Exactly.
this shit is
Yeah,
still here.
exactly.
Like
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
that sleep response is your freeze response. And what has happened in the meantime is that the rest of your body has caught up with the freeze and it's gone into that shutdown. So now you have the brain inflammation and brain fog that's always associated with that freeze
Yeah.
response. You're not going to feel that immediately. You're going to feel that when you wake up from your nap. You're going to feel
Wow.
that heaviness in your muscles. You're going to feel that
Yes.
just that general numb and ache. And yet behind it all, this terror of everything's still the same. The problem hasn't gone away yet. And that's what keeps you then in that freeze and that shutdown place. It's quite interesting what our body does to try to help us find escape from those things that we find terrifying.
Yeah.
Boy, if that doesn't describe you to a T, I don't know what does.
And
Yeah.
yet again, like what most people would say, and probably what most people would tell you, is that, oh, this is burnout. Oh, this is chronic
Oh, yeah.
stress. And I'm like, as long as we are using those words, we're missing the impact and the significance of what this is. This is not stress. This is a trauma response. This is not burnout. This is terrifying. And it's terrifying because it's creating these types of effects in your body that show us that for your body, it's at the level of terror, not just stress, burnout. This isn't just going to be fixed by a day at the spa.
Right.
This is a trauma response.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, a day at the spa would be nice too.
It would,
but
actually.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and let me just bring in the possibility here. It might not actually feel safe to your body to relax.
Yeah. Are you a psychic also?
I know. Boy, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Never relaxes.
I never relax.
Because
A
it's
body
not
in motion
safe to
stays in
relax.
motion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
If it were safe to relax, your body would relax. So the problem isn't
Yeah.
that you can't relax. The problem is we don't feel safe to allow ourselves to relax.
Yeah.
So then that's where we get to work.
Where does that come from though? Like what is it in me that makes me think like I can't relax because of that? Like I don't recognize it
Before she said that, why do you think you couldn't relax?
because to me relaxing is lazy and
Yeah.
relaxing is like I just, I'm not productive and I could be doing all
Yes.
these other things
Yes.
and that's why I never let myself take a nap. And then when I finally, like I was saying, my body is actually like, no, you have to
Yeah.
go to sleep. But I don't really recognize it the way you're describing it in myself.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
You need to read chapter 11.
Okay. Okay.
I lay it all out how our attachment insecurities.
Yes.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
your attachment programming informed you that you must be productive to be worth love, attention, connection.
Wow.
You got it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And that's the filter that's become how you see everything. So it's not like you can even separate that and be able to tease that out. It's your filter. It's like wearing glasses, right? Like you have to completely take your glasses off in order to actually see the world and yourself a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes perfect sense that if your own worthiness is connected to you being productive, girl, you can't relax.
Yeah.
You can't take a break. You can't rest. You always got to be productive. Or what might happen, right? Like your nervous system tells you, well, we would get abandoned. Well, no one would love us. We would be all alone. And that's terrifying. And we're back to it actually being terrifying that we might relax. So of course your body says, okay, I can never relax. I'm going to try to help you out here. I'm never going to relax. No, we can't relax. So I don't know, maybe that day at the spa actually wouldn't be as helpful as you think.
So how do you shift this biology, right? Like what patterns or markers do you focus on when you're working with a client like me, for instance? What does that look like?
Yeah. Jen is like, can we just stop talking about my attachment and let's talk about biology and labs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk about
biology
attachment
and
more.
labs.
You can.
Let's talk
You
about
can.
biology and labs. It's a much safer topic.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I'm going back to the safety.
Yeah. And you should. This is what you need to do, right? Like we've got to create our own inner safety. And when we find ourselves getting in over our head, be able to say like, nope. Now what we want to be able to do is be able to say no in a healthy way rather than just avoid, right?
Yeah.
Avoid is when it's still going to be there. our body is still holding it. It never goes anywhere. And that's why we wake up from our naps and we're like, shit, it's
Mhm.
all still there. It didn't go away. No, it's not going to go away. It's still there.
Dr. Aimie, let me just ask you. I know I just asked you a question, but I want to ask you this before because I'm going to forget because of the brain fog. Um,
I get it.
is it, does it depend on what the experiences are?
Mm,
Like that because like you were saying before, like, you wake up and it's still there and
mm,
you haven't fixed it. But there are obviously a lot of things that you can't fix. My dad just died 4 months ago.
mm.
I would do anything. Thank you. I would do anything to change that. And I can't. And that grief is so heavy on me, like all of the time. And then it's like these little like micro tears are coming at me with other things that are much smaller, but that underlying feeling of grief, which is what I had during my divorce, this trumps it. But that's that feeling. So it's like when I say I wake up and the shit is still there, it's like my dad is still gone when I
Right.
wake up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's a horrible feeling.
It is. Yeah. Where do you feel that in your body?
Oh God, everywhere.
Yeah.
um, I feel it in my heart,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do some heart support.
Okay.
Put a hand over your heart. Just start anywhere, right? Like, because this is it. Like, we don't know what's actually most helpful to our heart. So we just start with somewhere and then we experiment.
Yeah.
So start somewhere. And now I'm going to bring in my other hand. I'm going to go underneath so that I'm skin to skin, just to give it a try, just to see, like, oh, and for me, that is so much more helpful. And I get it, my deep breath, because I'm also have my other hand pushing on top of this hand. So there's some pressure there. And I don't know if you noticed, but my hand kind of started higher and then it just kind of like shifted down until my body was like, right there, right there. Feels lovely to have that connection. And so now I'm pushing this hand in so that I can feel more of that connection with my heart. So we'll give that just a second. Well, give my body another deep breath there. Isn't that so interesting that, all these people do breath work and actually all they need to do is just support their body and their body will give them the deep breaths by itself. But that's a different podcast for a different day, I believe. All right. So now I'm going to take one hand, I'm going to put it over on my side. So if you want to take one hand, so we still have one hand on top. Now, one hand almost as if we're on the side of our heart and we're just holding it together. It's like it's been broken and we're
Mhm.
holding those broken pieces together. And again, just kind of notice, like, where does your hand want to be? What feels the most helpful? I've noticed that I've kind of like turned my hand so that
Yeah.
it's providing more of that contact. And I'm trying to create the sense that I'm holding you together. I'm holding you together. And I get a little bit of a breath there. Oh, not here. There's a deeper one as my heart is like, oh, thank you for holding me together. Now I don't have to hold myself together. Right? It's just, again, that sense of being all alone. I can't take away your pain, right? I can't take away the pain that's in my heart, but what I can do is I can be here with you in it. And oftentimes what we're doing is we're trying to avoid it, making our heart feel like it's all alone and having to carry this burden all alone. Now, just to experiment, I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to put it just underneath my ribs so that I can feel like I'm holding up my heart. So if you want to try to do the same thing, and again, like we're going for creating a feeling. That's all it is. Just creating the feeling of how can you create the feeling that you're holding your heart up? Oh, I got it. And there's a really deep breath for me. Again, like our heart can feel like it's sinking in our chest when we have grief because of our diaphragm. So if I can come in and I can create this sensation of, I'll hold you up. You don't have to hold yourself up. I'll hold you up. Then we're creating a very different internal biology. So I've been jabbering on. Jen, what are you noticing that is the most helpful position to have your hands?
I like the rib cage
Yeah.
holding up my heart, but I actually am doing it with like both of my arms on opposite sides. Like
Yeah.
my right hand is holding my left rib cage, and
Yeah.
it
Amazing.
just feels like it feels
Yeah.
really
Oh,
good. Like it really
yeah.
feels like I'm
Yeah.
holding pieces of myself together.
Yeah. What a beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
And so when we wake up after our nap and we feel that familiar ache come over us again, we can't change the past, but I can support my heart right now. And before I even get out of bed, just right here while I'm in bed, let me move into I've got you. I've got you. I'm in this with you. I feel your pain. I see your pain. Let me hold the pieces
Yeah, it feels
together.
that actually, it's funny. I mean, I've done like some somatic work before, but not
Mm.
where I mean, I feel like now is when I really need it. And to be able to feel that when you need it is much different than like just learning these skills, because that felt really different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm. Yeah. Your breath sounds much more free.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't realize how much we can hold our breath when we're stuck in grief and so much grief.
I notice it a lot. I notice
Yeah.
the holding of my breath so
Yeah.
much that
Mm.
it's not until I actually take a breath that I'm like, oh God, I was holding my breath all that time. I didn't even realize it. Or my stomach is so contracted all the time,
Yeah.
and my shoulders are up by my ears, and like that's my state. That's like
Has
my
been.
baseline.
Has been.
Has
Has
been
been.
my
Yes.
my
Mhm.
baseline state is scrunched up shoulders, tight stomach, and holding my breath.
Wow.
So it's like it's so crazy. It's like I just felt my shoulders just kind of come down, and I feel, I don't know, like I'm letting my stomach out.
Letting yourself feel, creating the safety to feel rather than try to hold it all in, hold it all together. Don't let anyone see how you're feeling.
Dr. Amy, though, why is it different when you feel, when you like, I'm a big crier, as you just witnessed. I cry a lot, and
Mm,
and I think that that's a release, and people will be like, oh, well,
mm.
you must have cried. You're all cried out now. I'm like, I'm not though. Like that never seems to feel like a release for me. Why is
Exactly.
that?
Well, at least what I'm gathering is that because you haven't allowed yourself to connect with the pain even while you've cried about it,
Mhm.
right? You haven't held your heart
Yeah.
in this way. You haven't connected. You haven't been with it. You haven't been with your gut and your belly and all that it's been holding, the terror that it holds. And so again, it's kind of like the talk therapy. We can talk about it, but we actually need to get into the the experience and the sensation in a way that's not going to overwhelm us, but in a way that allows us to create a different experience that, as you can see, has you breathing deeper without you having to tell yourself to breathe deeper.
Yeah. I feel like, it's always, I mean, everything I do is like step one, step two, step three, like getting me to the next place, right? But you kind of describe this healing as like a cyclical event,
Mm.
right? Like it's,
I do.
how, like, how can a person, again, maybe someone like me, how can you embrace that nonlinear process?
Yeah, you're asking for a friend,
Asking
is
for a
what I hear.
friend.
Jen does a lot of that. She does a lot of that.
I got
We
you.
both do, but she does it more.
Yeah.
Oh, and doesn't that feel good to be able to
It
laugh?
does. It
Yeah.
does. Yes. Definitely does.
When we do this kind of work, right? Like when we do this, like connecting with my heart, it allows me to then be able to laugh about something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like I've betrayed my body because my body's like, no, we're in pain. And why are you laughing? And it's like, well, no, it feel this is it just allows for more of that joy and grief happiness and sorrow at the same time. And it makes it okay because I'm not ignoring one to only try to have the other.
Yeah.
So, and this will need to be the last question that I answer because I
Yeah.
do need to run.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
you're alluding to this idea of the spiral staircase.
Mm-hmm.
And this for me is one of the most, it gives me the most hope in that if this healing journey is a spiral staircase, I can go as high as I want.
Yeah.
I can always find another layer for which I can be more alive, more present, more of my best self. I never will get to a place where I'm like, well, I've done all the healing. I don't know what else to do with my life now. I'm a little bored up here.
I'm
No,
fully
like
healed.
each step on this spiral staircase circles us back to the same topics, whether that's our attachment or loss, grief. So each step takes us back to these different same topics, same themes in our life, but just at a deeper layer that allows us to go higher.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
This is
The book again is The Biology of Trauma, a step-by-step guide to healing from trauma and returning to your authentic self. And if you don't want to read that book after listening to this podcast, which Jen single-handedly it was just a one-on-one.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. All good. Dr. Aimie Apigian, thank you so much for being our guest. I feel like there's more to talk to you about.
Yeah,
but
definitely. We might have to have you back.
We're going to let you go.
You can come back and we can dig more into attachment science if you want.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I realized that was the purpose of inviting her on. What happened to you?
I guess, but
Yeah.
it's funny. I wasn't what I was just thinking like, hey, we haven't talked about trauma response, and everybody
Right.
always thinks of trauma as like this big,
it's like a big word. It's a big
Yeah.
word that everybody uses.
Right.
And also everybody uses it as like a blame. Like they blame it.
right,
They blame things on it.
right.
Um,
But she has a whole different
yeah.
definition, and I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But that was,
I mean, she described you and the way, look, I've watched you go through this. I mean, I'm constantly begging us to do a podcast on this topic, and I think we will.
we
but
can.
I feel like she's described what I see you going through, and maybe how to help alleviate some of the pain that you're going through.
Yeah, well, that the somatic stuff I never really
Explain
thought
what
about.
that is.
It's
somatic.
just
a pressure.
your body, like it's
Okay.
just working with your body
Okay.
versus your
Okay.
mind. Somatic healing, and it's like
Yeah.
that kind of touch therapy.
Right.
And I never really thought, like, I'm so in my head,
All the time.
yeah, that I never stopped to think like, oh, just putting my hand on my heart will help.
Well, hell, it's funny, like you don't think that, but the things that you describe when you are feeling, I mean, you are constantly saying to me how overwhelmed you feel.
Mhm. And it's my body's response.
It's your
my body.
That's right. Your
responding.
body is responding to what you're going through. And I mean, I guess it's in its own way, it's trying to help you, but it's not really helping you at all. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was great.
Boy, she locked in.
I know. Oh my God.
Locked in, and she interviewed us.
She interviewed us from the beginning.
From the very beginning, she asked us questions. I was like, oh,
But
okay.
did you feel that with the pillow?
Yes,
over
with the pillow.
you felt
and
it,
you know
right?
where I felt it is I've been noticing this more and more. I think I'm stressed out about a lot of things that are going on just in general. And I'm constantly like this.
With your
I'm
shoulders
constantly noticing that I have to go like this.
Mhm.
And when I put this here,
Your
I felt
shoulders
my
relax.
shoulders
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah.
Which was, I didn't want to
expecting
take
that.
away. Yeah. And I didn't want to take away what she was saying to you, because I feel like you really needed to hear what she had to say. But I'm curious, like, why is holding this making this?
because you
relax.
feel safe.
Safe,
You feel
yeah.
like you
But
can.
I'm constantly, and the minute I put the pillow down, I started to feel
Feel it
my
again.
muscles tense up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would. I never tried the weighted blanket because I always thought I'd be claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic.
in
I
it.
knew that's why you
Yeah.
don't do it.
But I do like something
But
on
that's
me.
the same, right? But that's why people have the weighted blankets, and that's why, like when your dogs are nervous dogs, they tell you to put like one of those thunder shirts
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
wrap
'Cause
something
it-
around them
right,
really tight
right,
because
right.
that makes them
holds them.
feel safe. Same idea, But yeah, you
Yeah.
should definitely. That's good.
All right, maybe I'll get that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go
Hug
calm
yourself.
my nervous system.
Go give yourself a hug. Anyway, we hope you got as much out of this as Jen clearly did. Thanks for listening. I'm Lori Schulweiss.
And I'm Jen Giamo.
And this was another episode of Everybody Talks.
Talk to you next time.
Take care.
For more information about our podcast, to learn more about us, or to catch up on all of our episodes, go to our website at everybodytalkspodcast.com.
Follow us on Instagram at Shirley, at Jen Giamo, and at Everybody Talks. And if you want to watch today's episode, go to our YouTube channel at Everybody Talks Podcast.
If you want to be a part of the conversation, join the Everybody Talks community and become an exclusive member of our wellness group. Check out the link in our show notes to learn more.
Don't forget, if you like what you've heard, give us a 5-star rating, write a review, and tell a friend. We're for everybody and everybody. The Everybody Talks podcast is co-created, executive produced, and hosted by us, Lori Schulweiss and Jen Giamo. Produced and edited by Station 16.
Our theme song music is written and performed by Jackie Ryle and Aaron Navisi, with additional support from our pups, Oliver, Milo, Murray, and Frankie.
Talk to you next time.